It's a blood clot vibes, yes, family large of this victory show. It's the hostess with the mostest, collective slash slow from the 1 and 2s. You know how we do. It's the vibes. It's a blood clot vibes.
Bittersweet herbals. What it tastes is bitter, but the results are sweet. Bittersweetherbals.com.
Run the rhythm.
Bittersweet herbals. What it tastes is bitter, but the results are sweet. Bittersweetherbals.com.
Yes. You dig? Your boy selected slash on one of these blood clot tools, huh? It's a blood clot vibes. Make sure me sounding straight. Let me make sure me sounding straight, you know. Give me a one in the chat if I'm sounding straight. Make sure my microphone sound right. And then play it on my phone to see still. Make sure we sounding good. You know what I mean? Sound right. Oh yeah, we sounding sharp. Play it on my phone to see. FGK, false god killer in the building all day. Sounding good. You know what I mean? I wonder if I can add that to my title real quick. Let me see. You know, sometimes you gotta remind niggas. You gotta remind niggas. There we go. You see it. False God killers. And that's what we do, man. We kill false gods around here. You know what I mean? What's good with y'all? Sila Shalom chiming in. Hold on, take this Yeah, just got to finish filming some footage for the next episode. Y'all make sure to tap in Atlanta's Ugly 2.0. Just got to filming some footage for episode 5. You know what I mean? Came back to the crib and said, let me just hop on. I ain't got no particular topic, just freestyle shit. Just wanted to get on with the family while I'm in good spirit. You know what I mean? No particular topic. If you got a subject y'all want to touch on, you can throw it in the chat. And then we can brainstorm. We can freestyle like we always do. Plant the seed and let that shit spread everywhere. Let the vine spread out. You know what I mean? I put the link in the chat if anybody want to hop on. If you want to hop on and talk your shit, you know what I mean? The link is in the chat. Hop on. You dig? The last video I did, I touched on, what did I touch on in my last? True God. Yes, sir. So in my last video, I touched on true God. You know what I mean? What is a true God? And as I described, a true God is one who is rightfully ruling the throne, the same way a president rightfully ruling office through the inauguration. We see the order. Hush him out. We see the system in order. You know what I mean? And the main thing what makes a false God false and what makes a true God true is who they profess. A false God professes himself as the creator, while a true God professes creator as the creator. The greatest deception is for you to believe that God is the creator. Now, a lot of people, when they just expressing their ideas and their thoughts about God, they reference God as a creator through their expression. But then when we pin them down to the Bible, that changes. You know what I mean? All these niggas is worshiping gods. Not even true God. Y'all not even worshiping the rightful ruler. Y'all worshiping a false God, right? Hold on. Y'all worshiping a false God. One time. Now, the crazy thing about exposing these false gods is that the concept of the false gods, that shit starts right with the Bible, man, like right in Genesis. I could see if you had a little bit of truth in Genesis, like with the creation story, there's some truth there, and then you get into the falsehood. But Satan did the greatest trick, yo. He deceived you straight off the book, straight from the beginning of the book, yo. Straight from the beginning, he deceived you. I see the fam chiming in. I see you, family. You know what I mean? Who would have ever thought that God in the beginning was God? Who would have ever thought that that was a lie? The creation story is a lie. That's a hard pill to swallow for some people. The creation story is a lie. That shit ain't true. Let me go to my illustrations and maps. Matter of fact, hold on. Before I pull that out, let me go here. Let me go to my first round. See, that's the beautiful thing, man. When we write these presentations, we just got them on deck. And you got to go look for anything. It's like, boom, depending on what the subject matter is, bam, we right there with it. The creation story is false. In the beginning, God created the heavens and earth. All that is a lie. All that is a lie. You never had the true essence of creator through creation, how creator creates. You've been given a vague understanding of how creator creates, and then got the nerve to say 7 days. And you niggas fell for it. Now look. My computer going a little slow. Okay, let me stop right there. Hold on. Here we go. I see the fam chiming in. King Judah, I see you. Peace, beloved. Ben Israel, I see you. The horse's mouth. Yes, I, Messiah. The art. Messiah. Bazel, where's that big man? Bless up to Bazel. Wise flow in the building. You know what I mean? It's on the popping tomorrow. Wise be out there in the field with it. About to get some filming in. You know how we do. Johnny Messiah. Elijah Messiah. True Beauty Messiah. I see the family chiming in. Bishop Messiah. Malachi Maccabee in the building. I see your bedroom. Cosmo and Cal. You know what I mean? Salute to the righteous gods and goddesses chiming in. You dig? So now, the creation story of Genesis is a hard pill for some people to swallow. First and foremost, God didn't create the heavens and the earth in 7 days. That's a lie. And like I've been showing you, the scripture does not say 7,000 years, 1,000 years. He say a day. Now here's the catcher. How are we going to sit here and say a day is 1,000 years to God, right? And quote Paul. Well, who quoted that? Solomon and David or one of them boys, Peter and them. Why would I go to them niggas to tell me that a day is 1,000 years when I can go to Genesis and hear it out of God's mouth himself? Why would I do that? All right, let's do this. Let's do some piggybacking. My computer froze up. And my computer froze up, but I'm still looking at myself move on here. That's crazy. Hold on. Give me a minute, family. My damn computer froze up. That's crazy. That shit froze up, but it's still moving on my phone. I guess until it unfreezes. Basically, what I was going to show is that they actually have a beginning date. Oh, here we go. For their creation myth. All right. There we go. I gotta free up some space. Y'all forgive me. There we go. Let's get it. Let's get it. When did creation begin according to the Torah, right? This is important because this is what they believe. The Hebrews, the Christians, and maybe some Muslims. When did creation begin according to the Torah, right? Look, Yale University Library. The starting point of Hebrew chronology is the year 3761 BC, the date for the creation of the world as described in the Old Testament. That's sad, man. 3761 BC is when God's supposed to be saying in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. This is documented as the beginning point of the heavens and the earth, the universe, the sun, moon, and stars, all that. How ridiculous is that? Who in their right mind would say that the heavens and the earth started 3761 BC? And if you believe in the Hebrew calendar, you got to accept this. If you do not accept this, you got to replace this with something. You just can't tell us we don't believe that and then don't have something in replace for it. You got to show and prove. It says the Jewish calendar is lunar, solar based on lunar months of 29 days, altering with 30 days. That's true, because the lunar cycles varies from 29 to 30 days. One moon cycle could be 29 days. The next moon cycle could be 30 days. The next moon cycle after that could be 30 days. Then the next moon cycle after that could be 29 days. And then the only way for you to know that is to really keep track of the moon cycles, because it's easily to get lost if you go ahead of schedule. If you put 30 days ahead of schedule and it comes out to be a 29-day month cycle, you know your calendar is off. An extra month as intercalculated every 3 years based on the 19-year cycle. But according to Yale University, and you know Yale is an accredited school. I'm sure a lot of PhDs then came out of Yale, right? But according to these niggas, 3761 is your beginning date. The current year is 5785 now, since the creation of the heavens and the earth. According to tradition, the Hebrew calendar started at the time of creation, placed at 3761 BCE. The current 2223 Hebrew year is 5783, but now it's 5784. By this calculation, the end of 6,000 years would occur at nightfall of the 16th of September, 2240 on the Gregorian calendar. So now, keep in mind, let me show you how off this is. It's not even 6,000 years yet. So you got to question yourself. God created the heavens and the earth in 6 days. So if we're in the year 5784, that means he has not completed creation. According to this, man was created on the 6th day, which would be the 6,000th year. So according to their logic, according to their calendar, man ain't supposed to be here. Man's supposed to be after the 6,000th year. Man wasn't created on the 5th day. Man was created on the 6th day. So how we get here before the 6th day, the 6,000th year? Shit don't make no sense. Watch this. Let me get the 6th day. Let me show you how this shit ain't making sense. Where's the blue letter? Right? Genesis. Now keep in mind, it's stated right here. We are in the year 5784. This is the year we in right here. So we in the 5th day. You remember? See, they fucked up. You know, we should have been like on the 9,000th year, the 8,000th year. We supposed to have been over there, but we 5,784 years since creation. That means we're in the 5th day. For all those who believe that a day is 1,000 years, we in the 5th day. Now, if God created the heavens and the earth in 6 literal days, then we straight. Man will be created. But if you claim that God created the heavens and the earth in 6,000 years, and we are currently in the year 5784, God has not created man yet. When did God create man? Let's get it. Genesis 1:26. When did God create man? What day was this? What day was this? When did God create man? Genesis 1:26. God said, let us make man in our image after our likeness. We don't need to say nothing else. That's when God created man, right? Genesis 1:26. But what day is this? Let's go down to verse 31. And God saw everything that he had made, and behold, it was good, very good. And the evening and the morning was what? The sixth day. The sixth day. So at the top of the 6,000, at the year 6,000, that year would have been the year God would have created man, the year 6,000, which is the sixth day. But as we see here, we are currently in the year 5784. Man, God ain't create man yet. But what we doing here? What did God create? We in the fifth day. If we 5,784 years in, that means we in the fifth day. The sixth day hasn't even occurred yet. We in the fifth day. What did God create on the fifth day? See, evening and morning, what the fifth day? What did God create on the fifth day? Let's see. And keep in mind, this is a false story anyway. Ain't none of this shit true. This is the fifth day, right here. This is what God created in the year that we're in now. He should still be creating. He should still be creating. God said, let the waters bring forth abundantly the moving creatures that have lived, that have life, and fowl that may fly above the earth in the open firmament. So basically, he created land animals, birds, and whales and shit like that, right? On the fifth day. So these things should be still being manifested and creating, not co-inhabitating, but creating from thin air. Huh? God created great whales and every living creature that moveth, which the waters brought forth abundantly after their kind, and every winged fowl after his kind. And God saw that it was good. So now, if God created this on which day? What day did God created this? Let's go down to verse 123. And the evening and morning were the fifth day. So on the fifth day, God created birds and whales. Now, if that's the case, birds and whales are only 784 years old. Because we are 784 years within the fifth day, which would be the 5,000th year. Huh? So a whale is only 780. All these animals at best could be 784 years. Does that even make sense? We know that shit ain't true. 784 years, that's not even 1,000 years ago. Huh? So what I'm showing you is that the creation story is false. It's a lie. We're in the fifth day. We're in the fifth day. And on the fifth day, God created whales, birds, and then, what did he say? Evening and morning were the fifth day. Right here. 5,000 years. And then after the fifth day, he created man. God shall let us make man on the sixth day. So technically, man should not be created. It should just be animals on the surface, flying birds, and whales in the ocean. That's what should be roaming the earth right now. See that? See what happens when you put the scrutiny on these things? Exactly, Cosmon. It don't make sense when you slow it down. How they ain't catch this? How you a Hebrew rabbi, Hebrew scholar, you know what I mean? You a priest in Israel. You got priest this, priest that, and y'all, I'm a priest this and a priest that, but you niggas missed this. The year is currently 5784. Nigga, you ain't even created yet. God didn't create man on the 5th day. He created man on the 6th day. It's not even the 6,000th year yet. God should be creating man in 2240. That's when God should be. The year 2240, September 16th, is when the 6,000th year will begin on the Gregorian calendar. That should be the time God should be creating man, 2240. 2240 is going to be the date for man's creation. So somebody messing up here. Y'all messing up the word of God. Your God at that. Yeah. So check them Hebrew Israelites on this. When we talk about, see, that's why when I get on a discussion with them, I don't let them niggas get past Genesis. No, we're not going to go into the middle of the book. We're not going to talk about the Hebrew Israelites. We're going to start with, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth, and we're going to stay there. Because I'm going to let you know that from the gate, the book is off. From the gate, you got niggas believing a God is sitting on a throne, floating through space, creating the heavens and the earth in 6 days. And this not even the 6,000th year yet, but man is here. It should only be land animals, water animals, and animals that fly in the sky. That should only be here. Man shouldn't even be created yet. I'm going to keep emphasizing that. And that's on your creation story. That's not even us beating you up with Owaspy or Owaspy timeline. This is your timeline. And on your timeline, you shouldn't be here. The year should be, technically, if God created man in 6 days, he rested on the 7th, then after he rested, he formed man in the Garden of Eden. And I've been in so many school of thoughts, Adam was considered the 8th day man. After he rested on the 7th, the 8th day is when Adam was created. The 8th day man. You have the 6th day man and you have the 8th day man. See, I've been to those school of thoughts. I know that. Been there, done that. So if we're going to be technical, if God rested on the 7th day, which would have been the 7,000th year, and then after he rested, let's say he rested 1,000 years. He rested a day. So now we at the 8,000th year. And then he formed Adam on the 8,000th year. We supposed to be in the 8,000th year. Huh? We supposed to be 8,000 and such BC. If that's the if we're using that logic. But if we're 5784, we got a problem. God ain't made man yet, so we got a problem. See that? That's for y'all to figure out. Now here's the biblical timeline placed in Owaspy's timeline to show the inconsistencies. Now, this is the time that your God created the heavens and the earth. Right here. Right? But look at that. 3761 BC. And we in the 5th day. We in the 5,000th year. So technically, that'll be like around what? 2nd century AD, present time. That's where we're supposed to be at. Nigga, we supposed to be right now in the 2nd century AD if we was to go by and apply this timeline. 3761 BC, bring that to the 1st century. You add another 2. I ain't doing exact math, but just hypothetically speaking, right? With the mathematics. 3761 BC, you drop that to the 1st century. You put 200 years on top of that, that'll bring you like to 57, bring you like where we supposed to be at, 5784. So it's 3761. Yeah, 3761 BC. You put 2 on top of that, that'll bring us to the 2nd century. So we supposed to be living in the 2nd century right now. If he was to apply this. See that? That shit don't even make sense. We living in the future according to this timeline. So this is the inconsistency of the Bible. This is the inconsistency of the Genesis account, Genesis creation story. 37, not even 4,000 BC. This is the time period. See that? So if God created 3761 BC, from 3761 BC to 2761 BC would be the first day. God said, let there be light. God divided the light. Let's get it. On the first day, what God do on the first day? Look at the first day. And God said, let there be light. And God said, when God saw the light, it was good, and divided the light from the darkness. And God called the light day and called darkness night. And the evening and the morning were the first day. So if creation started in 3761 BC, from 3761 BC to 2761 BC, what I just read was taking place. God is dividing the light, calling the light from. That's taking place while the pyramids are being built. 3761 to 2761 will be considered the first day, the first 1,000 years. In 2761, nigga, the pyramids was being built in ancient Egypt while God was creating and dividing the light. You see what happens when you put this in perspective? See what happens when you slow it down? Now, that's the first day. The second day would be 2761 to 1761. Now we done moved in from the old kingdom to the new kingdom. Now this is the second day. What's going on in the second day? What did God do on the second day? God said, let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters. And God made the firmament and divided the waters which were under the firmament from the waters which were above the firmament. And it was so. And God called the firmament heaven. And the evening and morning were the second day. So this is what's taking place in the second day. God created a firmament to divide the waters. That's taking place from 2761 BC to 1761 BC. That's taking place during the Middle Kingdom and Old Kingdom of Egypt. God is dividing. While the Israelites are sojourning in Egypt, God is dividing the firmament from the upper and the lower with the waters. That's what God is doing in 2761 BC. That's what God is doing in 2761 BC to 1761 BC. He's dividing the firmament. He's dividing the waters in the firmament. And what's going on earth history around this time, from 27 pyramids are being built, the first intermedium comes, and then the Middle Kingdom begins. And that's when the sojourn of Israel coming into Egypt takes place. 2000 BC on the wall of Khenimhotep II, you see him coming in. You see the Asiatics coming in. That's taking place when God is dividing the firmament with the waters, according to the narrative of the story dealing with the timeline. 2761 BC to 1761 BC is the second day. See that? This is why I'm going to be dangerous to these niggas. Because you can't wiggle your way out of that, because it's documented by Yale University. You niggas ain't bigger than Yale. That is the standard among the rabbis that creation started in 3761 BC. So from 3761 BC to 2761 BC would be considered the first day. He made light and darkness. Well, that's the Nakata period, pre-dynastic Egypt. And from 2761 BC to 1761 BC, God divided the firmament, waters below and beneath, and on the earth plane, that's the Old Kingdom, then the intermediate, the sojourn of Israel in Egypt, and then the Middle Kingdom. 1761 BC. From 1761 BC to what? 761 BC would be the fourth day. What did he create on the fourth day? See that? This shit don't even make no sense when you put it in real time, when you correlate it. So what he created on the fourth day? Oh, interesting. What a coinky dink. What did God create on the fourth day? Now keep in mind the fourth day. Let's come back to the chart real quick. The fourth day starts on, hold on, let me make sure I got it right. 3761 to 2761 is the first day. 2761 to 761 is the second day. 1761 to 761 is the third day. So the fourth day would begin from the year 761 BC. The fourth day, when God created the sun, moon, and stars, is taking place in 761 BC, which is right when Israel is about to go in captivity. See that? Nigga, this shit ain't making no sense, but this is your creation story based off the timeline. You got to deal with it. Look what it say. God said, let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and for years. And let them be for lights in the... Now, keep in mind, this is the fourth day. This is taking place in the year 761 BC. That'll be the beginning of the fourth day, starting from 3761 BC, coming on down, using 1,000 years as the premise. Since y'all niggas don't want to say, oh, I told y'all niggas God ain't say 1,000 years. He said a day, yom. He didn't say the word for 1,000, nowhere in Genesis. But since you want to insist in using 1,000, we're going to place the 1,000 year according to the time period where it starts. So the fourth day would begin 761 BC. So in 761 BC, God said, let there be lights in the firmament of the heavens to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs, seasons, days, years, and let them be for lights in the firmament of heaven to give light upon the earth. And it was so. And God made two great lights, the greater light to rule the day, which would be the sun, and the lesser light to rule the night, which would be the moon. And he made the stars also, referencing the stars to let you know that he was referencing the sun and the moon. So now keep in mind, God created this in the year 761 BC. Yo, God created the sun, moon, and stars in the year 761 BC. Prior to 761 BC, there was no light, there was no sun, moon, and star. Niggas is building pyramids in pitch black. In 3761 BC to 2761 BC, that first day, niggas is building pyramids in pitch black. That nigga Narmer up in battle in pitch black, no sun, moon, and stars. Narmer is in pitch black fighting, taking niggas' heads off. Come on, man. Y'all got to vibrate higher. Follow me now. I'm showing you according to your map right here. It stated that the creation story is started in 3761 BC. That's documented. So if we do 1,000 years coming down using that as the days and apply it to real history, you're going to see how foolish your creation story sounds. You hear that, Cosmon? It was no sun before 761 BC, King. Imagine that. Niggas was fighting wars in pure darkness. You know how cold it was for them niggas to... No light. When you absence of light, is cold. The absence of light is cold. Light brings on heat and warmth. If there ain't no light, it's going to be cold. Space is cold if it ain't no lights in that region. The closer you come to the light, the warmer and hotter it gets. That's just basic logic, right? But nonetheless, on the fourth day, 761 BC, God created the heavens. The sun, moon, and stars. Right? He created the sun, moon, and stars then. So now, this is interesting. This is real goddamn interesting right here. I ain't even playing for this shit. This is all freestyle. Sometimes these freestyle motherfucking presentations be off the chain. Yo, God created the sun, moon, and stars in 761 BC. You know what you niggas was doing in 761 BC? Let me show you something. Israel. Where that map I got? Who is it on? I think it's on the right here. I think it's this one, yeah. Where that? Let me bring my... Map at? It's at the bottom here. That's crazy, yo. God made the sun, moon, and stars in 761 BC. Yo, that shit is hilarious, man. You niggas better leave me alone, bro. You can't say shit about John New Broman or Owaspi. Never to me. Don't ever play that game with me. I'm going to run you niggas in the mud bad. Let me find that map. Let me find that map. Look at this. Look at this. God created the heavens and the earth in 761 BC. Look at that. God created, the sun, moon, and stars. He created the sun, moon, and stars right after the Greek Dark Ages. Your God created the sun, moon, and stars after the Dark Ages. Wow. So by the time archaic Greek comes on the scene, the Greeks get the privilege of having light. When the Greeks come on the scene, the archaic Greece, that's when sun, moon, and star comes. Prior to that, you niggas in the Dark Ages. Prior to 750, prior to 761, before your God created the sun, moon, and stars, you niggas was in the Dark Ages. Yo, look at the Minoan civilization. The Minoan civilization would have been existing when there would have been no sun, moon, and stars. The Mycenaean civilization would have been existing when there was no stars. Now keep in mind, the second day is from 2761 BC to 1761 BC. So that's the 17th century right here. So on the second day, you got the Mycenaean civilization emerging. You got the Minoan civilization. But your God is on the second day of creation. He up there dividing the firmament with the waters when the Mycenaeans is on the island of Crete building shit. You know what I mean? What we doing here? 761 BC, when archaic Greek comes on the scene, after the Dark Ages, God made the heavens, the sun, moon, and stars on the fourth day. Right? Now, you remember I just said the fifth day he created the whales, the land animals. So there was no animals. Keep in mind, he created animals on the fifth day. So the first 2 days ain't no animals. So the Mycenaeans ain't seen no animals. The Minoans ain't seen no animals. Hold on 1 second, family. Give me a 1 in the chat if y'all getting this understanding, family. Give me a 1 in the chat. So yes, family, back at it. Yeah, give me a 1 in the chat if y'all getting this understanding, man. I know this is far beyond some people's comprehension because they don't put things in perspective on this level. But your God, in 761, matter of fact, damn, do I got that map of Israel? Lucky I ain't got that map with the Israelites. I should have it on here. See if I got it on the illustrations. Let me see if I got it on here. See, we put everything on the timeline. We put everything on the timeline. Now look, Noah's flood took place in 2106 BC. Now, if we apply that 1,000 years method of God creating in 1,000 years, nigga, Noah shouldn't even be in an existence yet. There you go, look. This the whole of Israel right here. Make sure my mic on. All right, so check it. Look at that. 761 BC is when God made the heavens, the sun, moon, and the stars, and Israel went into captivity in 722 BC. See how this shit don't make no sense? Now, keep in mind, On the fifth day, so what's that? 761. So that brings us to about the 7th century AD. 7th century. Now, from 761 BC, let's say the 700th, 761 AD, 1,000 years. Now, no, not so far up to about the 3rd century, the 2nd, 3rd century, yeah. Yeah, about Constantine time, about the 3rd century AD. So from the 7th century BC to the 3rd century AD, they're within that 1,000 years. Now, during the time of Constantine, God was creating land animals. This is the beginning of the 5th day. Now, the beginning of the 5th day is the 3rd century AD. During the time of Constantine, God is creating whales, land animals, fowls to fly in the sky on the 5th day. The 5th day would be around the 5th century BC. But it's interesting when you apply this, yo. And again, look, 761 BC. God created the sun, moon, and stars right at the ending of the Greek Dark Ages, right at the beginning of the king of the Mycenaeans, the Macedonians, the beginning of Rome, all started on the 4th day. But yes, family, that shit crowd. That shit wild. Yo, anybody want to hop on, yo? Cosmon, you want to hop on for a hot sec? Talk your shit. I know you got some goddamn funny ass shit to say about this. They go to the link in the chat. Anybody want to hop on? Hop on and drop your piece, yo. Because it's a blood clot vibes. There you go. Osman did the math already. That's right. Yeah, yo. So there you have it. You know what I'm saying? So we talk about the biblical creation. The biblical creation brings us to 3761 BC as the beginning date. Now, peace to my brother Cosmon Killer. What up, Killer? Killer Cam? What's good, fam?
Man, look, right. You dig what I'm saying? I've known this, right? But when you put it in that type of understanding, look, that if creation happened in 6,000 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it starts in 3761, and we are only in the year 5,784. Bro, that means man ain't been created yet.
Exactly.
That's also supposed to mean that Jaja, right there is supposed to still be animals popping up in the world right now too.
Exactly.
They supposed to be popping up out the air. You know what I mean?
You just see they just pop. They just right there.
But the crazy part is, man ain't even supposed to be here. There isn't supposed to be any history yet.
Exactly.
There isn't supposed to be any history.
That's amazing. It ain't even supposed to be no goddamn
nothing. It's not supposed to be anything but sun and the moon, some water and dirt.
And fucking animals, yo.
And some animals. And then he created the plants before he created the sun.
See, I didn't even bring that part out. So if that's the case, on the first day from 3761 BC to 2761 BC, which is pre-dynastic Egypt, them niggas had nothing to eat. They had no herbs. There wasn't no trees here.
Wasn't nothing here. It was just God hovering over the water, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yo, you gotta be kidding me, yo. They better off accepting God created the heavens and the earth in 6 literal days than to stretch that shit onto 1,000 years and you end up with this.
You want to hear some crazy shit though? Something that I even never thought I would ever hear a Hebrew say.
What's up?
Not only Tazariak said it, but Yara and a couple other brothers said, and Amin Ra McCarthy. This was nuts. They said God did not create everything.
Yo, you know what? When I did my live yesterday, that's what I was trying to figure. Because I remember they was saying it was a topic that they was touching on that Sarnetta was holding them on, but I couldn't bring it out. And when you did your live and I heard you say that, I was like, that's what it was. But yeah, King, that's that. See, I knew I should have called in and got on their ass right then and there, King, because we was in the chat going in. I was waiting for you to go on, or you probably waiting for me to go on, and then it would have been on and popping. But we, you know, Sarnetta had them. But see, Sarnetta got them boys anyway because he using common logic and beating them up. You know what I mean? Like, how the fuck you gonna say this is your creator God, but he ain't create? What is you niggas really saying?
Right. What is he doing then? If your creator ain't creating, what is he doing?
Right.
These niggas say he just sitting back on the throne pointing.
Yeah. That's why I said, when did God create the throne?
When did he create water? How you gonna float above something you ain't created yet?
They showing and telling on themselves that they really don't know what they worshiping.
Bro, they worshiping a demon. Let me tell you what you worshiping. You worshiping a pederast, a nigga that killed little babies, 64,000 of them in that text alone. You dig what I'm talking about? You serving Lunar, nigga. This is what you serving. That nigga on that nag with that name you don't know? That's Lunar.
That nigga, who that nigga on that nag?
I done told you, Calvin, I said, who is this nigga on this nag?
Yo, you killed me with that one, boy. I said, boy, Cal, hell. But now these niggas is literally admitting, because even Tazariak admitted when I had that one-on-one, he said that's not God. I said, that's not the Most High created. He said, no. So
that nigga said that's Jeebus. And then Jeebus created Adam, who is Jeebus. then created itself 4 more times.
Right. According to them niggas. I said, boy.
But that mean, hold on, to create a physical man, right? That means some hunching had to go on. So your God been back and forth to the earth, hunching on women, getting them pregnant, ain't even take care of them, even killing them. You a real deadbeat, dude. And plus, I don't believe you. Flat out. You say you made the earth, the planet and the earth. Okay, well then, all right, my nigga, how?
And then once they give you the how, which is the 6-day creation story, nigga, that shit don't even make sense.
And then, first of all, you took that 6-day creation story from another nigga. Your God borrowed it from another God. It's not primary to the book that you hold and so dear. It come from other people.
Exactly. And then where it comes from is the same nigga who came with your Tanakh, which is Ezra. He came from the area where that motherfucker was found at. Where it was originally, where the primary is at, basically.
Yeah. And it's the same nigga. This the same God who turned around and told you and made Cyrus your Messiah. Y'all starting to see it? Y'all starting to see something is backwards?
Right. Your God don't give a damn about you. He already said he's not a respecter of person. So the nigga used Cyrus, a Babylonian king. Nigga, your whole second temple is nothing Babylonian, is all Babylonian influence. Even if you never build it yourself, you still have to get permission. Even the Samaritans, which is the northern tribe, when they returned back, because they returned back in like the 8th century. Basically they returned back before the Judites and them, and they ain't even want their help.
Okay, my thing is, you dig what I'm talking about? The man y'all hate so much, Nebuchadnezzar, who smashed y'all temple, right? Your God used his son as your Messiah.
That's what I'm saying. These niggas is playing with slave master. First, you got slave master Cyrus, like you say, the nigga's son, spoiled nigga, roll up in riches. You know what I mean? Y'all had to give permission. Yo, God gave this nigga permission for you niggas to go back and rebuild the second temple. Why couldn't God go to goddamn Ezra himself Say, nigga, fuck rebel against the Babylonians, nigga. I got your back. Go back to Jerusalem. Ain't nothing gonna happen to you. He ain't do that.
Because their God was too weak to deal with the Persian God, the Babylonian God. He was too weak. You got to remember about it. The Assyrian God whooped the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob's ass and enslaved you niggas. And then turned around, the Persian Medo God whooped your God ass. Your God is a punk hoe. He can't fight, ain't never fought. The nigga couldn't even beat a couple niggas in the hills that had iron chariots. So how the hell he gonna beat the Persian God, who is Marduk? Marduk, a warrior. He slapped your God around and took you niggas and put you in captivity. And then when he was done with you, he pawned you off to the motherfucking Babylonians. You dig what I'm talking about? Because they God slapped your God across his motherfucking mouth and put you niggas in bondage. And then your God said, please, can you use Cyrus to at least put a couple of my people back home? Don't that sound more logical? That your God begged the other God to let your people go?
That's crazy, yo.
Then he just miraculously turned his sworn enemy, the Babylonian, to your savior.
And then I'm like, shit, why he ain't do the miracles he did when you was in Egypt to get your ass up out of there?
Why ain't he do no miracles in America to get your ass up out of here?
See that? So now the question is, if you've been worshiping a false god, or it was a false god that said you niggas gonna be scattered to the four corners, man.
My thing is this. That God been cursing them ever since the Assyrian captivity, correct?
Shit, nah, ever since the wilderness when them niggas left Egypt.
Ever since the wilderness, they've been getting cursed, right?
The Deuteronomy 68 shit is when they talk about going to ships, going in captivity, the curses and the blessings. That was back when them niggas was in the wilderness and sending and shit.
Right. So they getting their curses and punishments for whatever they did against their God, correct?
Yeah.
When is the white man gonna get a curse and a punishment for all that he did to y'all here in America?
And that's their thing. Oh, their time is coming. That's that pie in the sky wish. You know what I mean?
Wait a minute, but it's supposed to have been coming since Jeebus.
That's another thing. You know, these niggas waiting on Jesus.
Jeebus. Y'all niggas crazy.
Yeah. That's why it's like they're not gonna be able to survive the curse. It's like when we start off with Genesis, that's it. Them niggas ain't gonna get past that.
My thing is, first of all, your creator God don't create. And then he also doesn't tell you how he creates or with what he creates. You dig what I'm talking about? He gave you a date of 3761 as your invention when we got pyramids that's older than your creation date. We got the pyramid of Anu was created in 4000 BC.
Let's pull that up. Yeah, facts.
That's the Uraka period. That's like Nakata 1. You dig what I'm talking about?
Right, facts.
So you saying the Egyptian existed before Earth?
Imagine that, King.
Come on, man. This is crazy, y'all. When you slow it down, it don't make no sense.
Look at that. The goddamn Temple of Anu. Look at that. The Uruk archaeological site at Walker, Anu, White Temple Ziggurat at Uruk. The original pyramidal structure, the Anu Ziggurat, dates to around 4000 BC. Nigga, this shit was before your God.
Listen, hold on. If the White Temple was built on top of it at 3500, which is 261 years after the creation, who was there that built the White Pyramid? Who built the White Temple on top of it if no humans exist?
See that? 4,000 BC, but you got 3761 where God is creating the heavens and he creating universes in 3761 BC. Yo, you gotta be kidding me.
Man, this is nuts, bro.
See, we gotta hold these niggas accountable to the timeline and they God. Nothing else matters.
Yeah.
Nothing else matters between that God and this timeline, because this shit ain't mad enough.
Right. You dig what I'm talking about? And I asked the brother Chief X the other day. We was in the jail. I was like, well, you know, what you believe, what you stand up. He just said, oh, I'm a pantheist. I asked him what pantheon did he praise. He didn't answer the question. You dig what I'm talking about? We gonna smoke anybody. Yeah. You praising the gods and all that shit and all this. You leading my people astray. You my enemy too. So I'm gonna bust at your God too.
They lost, King. See, we've been so embedded with deity worship from biblical to African spiritual system, because African spiritual system is deified as well. Top nigga Shango, he the head nigga, throw lightning bolts at your ass. These niggas is dealing with the same shit coming back to ancient Egypt. Osar being the head deity in charge. All they know is deity. So when we bring the concept of creator, when we bring the concept of something that says all space, all place, niggas can't grasp that because they're not used to that.
Right.
That. How can an intelligent being be everywhere present? They don't even understand that because they don't understand the function of creator.
Right. Yeah. Or how creation works, period. And then think of this. You got to think about this. From their inception, they have been indoctrinated with Lord, God spelled doctrine. Think about this. If your creator was created the whole creation in 3761, Anu Hassaj took the throne in 3753. So you ain't have nothing but 8 years to get your shit together. But wait a minute, you're not even supposed to be there to be getting anything together.
Now, look at that. Anu Hassaj takes the throne the exact time period when the biblical creation is supposed to start, which goes to show if these niggas done found 3761 BC as the conclusion of their creation story, nigga, Anu Hassaj is the author behind that shit because he reigning around that time.
Facts.
He pinned that. He gave
and he is the very first person to use the words Lord God, Dios as an entity to be praised. That's the same time that your God is saying he created everything, and he's using the word God and Lord.
Facts.
And if you put it in the Greek, it's Dios. Ooh-wee.
So boy, that nigga got a lot on his belt because nigga, you behind, like you say, he's behind Lord God being worshipped, Elohim Adonai. He's behind that, and then he's behind the creation tale, which is the Amuna Elish and the Kemetic creation tale,
and the Atrahasis. Don't forget Gilgamesh and the Atrahasis, all three.
So he got he done laid down he laid down a stumbling block. He laid down a stumbling block for humanity that put him back 3,000 years. And
man, that nigga Anu Hassaj still here, bro.
Man, yo, that nigga got to be tuned in with us because ain't nobody talking about him. Imagine you know what I mean?
Remember about 20 plus years ago, about end of the 90s, beginning of the 2000s, they start coming with the Zechariah Sitchin and the Sumerian and all that stuff. Remember that stuff got popular real quick?
Yeah, that shit was popular. Matter of fact, Malachi York. And see, he's slick too, because at the time when he was bringing it out in the mid 90s, he wasn't referencing who he got it from. So he was just making it like, you know, Enlil and Inky. He's like, oh man, like he was putting it like he was the benefactor of that information.
Yeah, like he was the source.
Exactly. And then until you later find out it was Zechariah Sitchin who was the face behind that shit, and other people who've been doing that research.
And then shit, they debunked Sitchin. You dig what I'm talking about? They already proved Sitchin was rewriting words, didn't know what the fuck he was doing, and because they got the thing is a lot of people think you can't read Sumerian. They think it can't be read, but that's not true, because the Sumerian people who was writing left whole dictionaries with the word, what the definition of the word is, everything. So they went back in, reread it, and wrote it out properly, which is not what Sitchin did. He put his own little twist on it. So this is why they look at Sitchin as pseudo now. You know what I'm talking about? When in the 90s, that nigga was looked at like he was God.
Exactly. And that's how
you know what I mean?
You know what I mean? So he's the one who gave us the whole Anunnaki and Lil Inky and all that. You know what I'm saying?
And remember that whole 2000 supposed to be over with time setback. Remember when the Earth was supposed to end in 2000?
Yep.
I think Anu Hassaj is the one who set all that shit back to prove everybody all this shit was fake. Cause that's at that point, 2000. You dig what I'm talking about? Soon as that shit start hitting, niggas was like, wait a minute, the world ain't over? Nigga, y'all been telling us for 2 years to get prepared. You dig what I'm talking about? Y'all been telling us forever that the world about to end when this thing trigger over and the systems go down and the zeros. Nigga, they said all this crazy shit.
Exactly.
And time, guess what? Just kept on moving, kept doing what it's been doing. And nothing never changed.
They got a false sense. See, they don't understand the seasons and cycles or the behavior of the arc cycles within 3,000 years, nor do they understand the 4 ages. So they concept of the end days is technically the ending of a cycle, which would be an arc cycle. And then, you know, the concept
also could be the ending of an era, a 12,000 year.
Exactly.
You know,
that's exactly what I'm saying.
Yep.
It's the ending of a cycle, but then they don't understand the ending of the planet. They don't understand that. See, their Bible tells them that this world is going to be destroyed and it's going to be a new heaven and earth. So if we put that in a Waspi's perspective, although that's real vague, but the destruction of this earth as we know it will be basically going into the age of barrenness, right?
Correct.
And then from the age of barrenness to what? Destruction and rest. And then what? We go back into the first vortex, and then when we come to the second age, that'll be the new heaven and an earth.
Correct.
But they don't know that. They don't know that. That process is going to take over damn near a million and some change. It's going to take a minute to get there. We got another 144,000 and another 144,000, then another 144,000, and then the earth is inhabited again, going through the ages.
Yeah.
So they don't understand those seasons and cycles, and that's based off the timetables of prophecy. So once you understand the timetables of prophecy and how worlds, civilizations comes to beginning and endings, and how worlds come to beginning and endings, there ain't nothing spooky about it. Right.
It just start all over again.
That's it. Just like from goddamn winter. Winter would be considered wartime. War.
Yeah.
That's war and destruction for the arc cycle for human. During that last arc cycle, that last 1,000 years would be the age of darkness. That would be like the winter season.
And then guess what? Come right after the winter, spring, and this shit rebound and redo and reset all over again. The microcosm is a description of the macrocosm. Right. You dig what I'm talking about? What's going down on the microscopic level was happening on the macroscopic, but massive galactic level too.
Exactly.
The key though, Sheila, is to understand that same effect is going on in you.
Right. Facts.
You dig what I'm saying? And this is why when people say, yeah, we made out of the stars and all that shit, I can kind of understand what they're saying. Plus, the material that make up anything, pretty much, you dig what I'm talking about, is all the same.
But keep in mind, the vortex start in the interstellar and is drawn to the center. So we are made up of dust particles because the very essence that makes us up started in the interstellar ether drawn into the center of the vortex.
Yeah, and that's not only the Earth.
That same carbon atom that's flowing through your body is the same carbon atom that was taken when the vortex started.
That's the same old school knowledge that they was teaching back in the day of triple stage darkness of birth. It's the same understanding. Remember that in the womb, from the time of conception, you dig what I'm talking about? It begins spinning. Right? The structure is there. The DNA is added through the sperm. You dig what I'm talking about? But it pulls its structure from the mother. It literally spins and pulls and in all its whole life. All it does is turn over.
Even in the room when it's getting big and shit.
Even when it's 9 months, it's all it's doing is turning over. You dig what I'm talking about? And the same thing we do. You dig what I'm talking about? We don't understand that, and that process doesn't really start till you take that first breath. But as soon as you take that first breath, that process is of vortexia, which many people would call it electromagnetism through an EKG, right? Is produced through the wind in your body. This is why they call that middle section your solar plexus. It's hot down there. You dig what I'm talking about? Because everything is drawn from the outside inward.
Right. We in the ocean of air.
Come on, man.
We in the water. We at the bottom of the ocean. That's what niggas don't understand. Yo, we at the bottom of the ocean. Walking around.
They don't get it, bro. They don't get it. But they say it to themselves in their flat earth doctrines all the time, that the waters were separated from the waters and that the firmament is the heaven, right? So if the heavens is right here, what's right past that? That's space. That's interstellar space. So guess what it must be? It must be water. It must be fluid. If there's water below, firmament in the middle, and water above, what are we talking about?
And then
this is why
even rain is water above.
Come on, man. Gee, yo.
The clouds is water.
I tried to look. A dude.
Motherfuckers, the water gonna come out them shits.
A dude tried to argue me today that he said, you know, basically we got into the point. I was pinning him with a trap. You dig what I'm talking about? Because he tried to say charge creates motion. I said no, it's the opposite. Motion creates charge. And to prove that, right, you can create motion and create no charge. He said, no, you can't. Prove it. I said, okay, I'll prove it real quick. Get a glass of water, fill it up right before the rim, spin your finger around it, right? Spin your finger around the water till you create a vortex, right? And first of all, right there, no charge. It'll show you that no charge is produced. But to prove that no charge is produced, right? Take your phone and your phone charger and stick the tabs into the water. If the water put in motion creates charge, you should be able to charge your phone. If not, then I just created motion with no charge. But I showed them objectively how you prove that. Motion exists without charge. It's what creates charge. So I said, if what you're saying is true, you can show us charge without motion. Right? Show us a charge, right? Independent of any motion.
That's impossible.
It's impossible. Even magnetism, which if he didn't know this, but if he would have even went to magnetism, you did what I'm talking about, like electro static. First of all, you got to rub on that to get that. You did what I'm talking about. Something must move friction against that to get electrostatic electricity, static electricity. So that's right there, motion. You can't prove any charge without motion. But if you would have went magnetism, which is vortexia, that is impregnated in the thing. You dig what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
To even prove that moves, there is a negative and a positive force in that. And if you put a positive force to the positive end, it'll move it away from it. So this proves that the energy trapped within whatever the iron that we use to create the magnet moves in the rock or the iron.
Right.
So you can't have a charge without motion. So when I put him in the body bag, you dig what I'm talking about? That, you know, I made sure you dig what I'm talking about. Put a nice little bow on it for him. You dig what I'm talking about? I talked a little extra hard on that nigga. You dig what I'm talking about? Because their whole idea was electromagnetivity is God, or electromagnetism is God.
Who's saying this?
These niggas that's in the Lions Den in they little debate league and all that. Man, I'm crushing niggas, bro. And then they won't debate.
Electromagnetism is God. So where they getting that from? Is it
they making it up? No, I don't know what they is. They making it up.
Or they making it up?
Yeah, they making it up. Don't nobody say that. Yeah, and firstly, electricity and magnetism are two different things. So what do you have?
You have to show a consistent history of that throughout history where that is being declared.
Right. And then show us electricity without motion. Show us magnetism without motion.
Yeah,
you did what I'm saying?
Motion is the first cause. They don't know
right.
that.
They don't know that.
Yeah.
They don't know that.
See, one thing with these science niggas, they don't do things in an orderly fashion. They just hop out the window, the cinder field or the magnetism.
The photons.
Nigga, we gotta start from the very beginning of creation, which is motion. And this motion flows in a circle, which is a vortex that can be proven through galaxies and hurricanes, the whirlwind. These are things that can be identified objectively as the primary force of all creation.
And the whole science of cymatics proves it. Nigga, you can't have corporality or produce a force, right, without motion. The motion is sound. Didn't the creator say all is, all was, all shall ever be? And the all spake? Sound.
And
created motion. This is called cymatics. This is a whole science we've already proven. Man is proving this.
And look what he say. When he said when he speaks, motion was, is, and ever shall be, meaning to say, once a vortex starts, nigga, that's it.
That's it.
Ain't no ending. That shit gonna keep on. Even if the planet dissipates, that vortex could still sustain and create another one.
Look, bro, they don't understand that it's grand vortexes. That the universe itself is a vortex.
That's just one vortex. Mean one. That's just one vortex.
That's just one. And I'm talking about the universe. I'm talking all of it. It's all spinning. And it has a massive vortex in it. That has a massive vortex in it. That has a massive vortex in it.
Belt change, just giant belt change, wheel change, just wheels
down to the solar system, bro.
Yeah.
And you dig what I'm talking about? It's
down
spinning.
A cell. You gotta look at the microscope still following these things. Man.
You can't even have an electron if they don't move.
Everything is emotion, yo. That's what niggas don't understand. If you see somebody laying in the street and they don't move,
they're dead.
Like, man, is he dead? But as soon as he lift that leg or lift that arm, showing motion, you associate motion with being alive.
Correct.
If you see a nigga get hit in the street in the car, you driving, a nigga get hit bam by a car, and he just stayed out on the street, he just wiped that on the ground, and he ain't moving. the first thing you're gonna say to yourself is what? Damn, that
He
nigga
did.
dead.
Yeah.
He ain't moved for about, let's say, you know, he sit there like that for a good 5 minutes, no motion. You're going to be like, damn, man, he may be dead. And then next thing you know, you see that knee rise up. Ah, man, he alive. You associate motion with life.
Correct. They don't, but they don't understand that life is in the motion.
Right.
You dig what I'm talking about? Life and motion are two different things. Life is in motion. This is why none can stand still.
You know what? That's deep, because you say life is in motion and it's outside of motion. Because a dead body that ain't got the motion within it no more is a laying corpse. But motion still existing outside of itself.
Come on.
Yeah, you can't escape motion.
Can't escape motion, man. And then the one thing that they all this is where we baffle scientists at. This is where we baffle scientists, because this is where Jaja baffles scientists. Because he's so simple. He says sound created it, and I created the very first sound. That's where motion comes from. The initial motion that started everything that you call Big Bang, right? You call that Big Bang, Jaja say that's big vortex.
That's big
and it
vortex.
started out with I am, and everything was, is, and ever shall be. Damn, ain't that simple? Now I ain't got to go make up no crazy ass theories, because I know now this motion got to keep motioning. This is why the form for gravity looks like the form for light looks like the form for energy. Why? Because OWASP been telling you niggas they all the same thing.
Yep.
It's just what's being affected by vortex is what it produces. And then to kill the whole radiocarbon electromagnetic radio background shit, Nick, let me just tell y'all, ether sublimates everything. Not only is it outed and you produce out of ether, it goes through it and penetrates it. This is what allows 2 parts of hydrogen to mix with 1 part of oxygen, when we know oxygen and hydrogen are dead things, so they don't move on their own. Right? So when you put that initial motion on anything, now you got water. Doesn't water fall from the sky? Where hydrogen and oxygen mix. This is why it's rained to the ground, because it got to be up there moving. You dig what I'm talking about? And even on Earth, in our own atmosphere, many times most of that water can't be seen in clouds. Or the cloud will come into sight, go out of sight. That don't mean no less water is there.
Right.
And this is what they got to understand. So that whole electromagnetic background is because ether is sublimating everything. It's tearing it apart. Whatever it is tearing it apart, and whatever's by it, it's commingling with it, and it brings everything to its quote unquote atomic rate. So yeah, you're gonna have when ether passes or ether along with hydrogen passes through, methane, it's gonna produce a certain result.
You know what, son? That's deep, because it's like when the earth passed through these Etherian arcs, the effect coming to that sublimation shit. You know, in the Bible, when they talk about one nigga in the field and one nigga there and one nigga left, the nigga niggas out here about to get sublimated during the arc cycles and shit, during the beginning of the arc of the Danais.
They don't even know. They don't even know. They don't know why they change. They don't know why A and B blood types just started producing O's.
Yo, that shit is crazy, yo.
You have no idea what's going on, because guess what? You think, and somebody told you, and you still believe, like a child, right? That something blew up and created something. When you can't see nothing blowing up objectively, you dig what I'm talking about, in creating anything.
Right.
Create the word, something. Just first of all, nothing created something, and something blew up. Is just crazy. That's the whole idea of Big Bang. There is something when there's supposed to be nothing, but it created something, and then that something somehow blew up. So basically what you're trying to, and created all what you see around us. Okay, so basically what you're trying to say is you put a nuclear bomb, right, into a junkyard, a scrap yard. You put a nuclear bomb into Sanford and Son's backyard, right? And you blew up the nuclear bomb, and you expecting a 747 jet with all the technology already whipped up, with people to drive it. That's what you expected. That's the equivalent. That's crazy. Y'all see how crazy that sounds? Put a firecracker in anything. Watch what it produce. Yeah. Put something that explodes on anything. See if it produces a new something that is now moving, functioning, and alive. Remember, whatever that Big Bang thing is, it got to produce something alive, and we know the Earth alive and produce alive things. So I ought to be able to do something and produce something alive. I ought to be able to blow it up. That ain't how that shit work.
Niggas coming up here making up shit and shit. You know what I mean? It's like niggas is coming up now. They got the electromagnetic god. You know what I'm saying? So
yo, man,
what's going on with these cats, man?
They think light is God. I get it though. I get it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we get it. We get, but like you say, when you slow it down, how is light generated?
Right.
You know, we know that vortex coming. See, that's what I said. Niggas get irritated when we bring up that vortex, but they can't escape it.
You can't escape it. And listen, I'm about to put this next one gonna be together on Newton. I'm going to debunk the first law of motion.
Oh my man, when you doing this tonight?
I'm on their head right now, so it'll probably be within the next month.
Oh, okay.
You did what I'm talking about. So it'll probably be this month. But I'm putting this thing together because I'm going at Newton head. The first law, quote unquote law, is that a body in rest stays in rest until acted upon by out, or a body in rest stays in rest, right? And a body in motion stays in motion until acted upon by outside forces. One. You have not given us a cause for that object that was still, right? That had no motion, that was still, right?
Right.
To start rotating. What creates the initial motion? Right. I'm not going to debate that if it stays still, that it stays still. Yeah, it does. And if you act against to slow down, put friction against a spinning one, yes, it'll stop. But what you missed is the most initial part. What starts the spinning? You can't give me a law about nothing when you can't tell me what creates the law.
Right.
Yeah, you know there's motion, but you can't tell me what causes it. Sit your ass down. This is a faithist game now. You dig what I'm talking about? All science will bow to Jah. This is what y'all gonna have to understand. Exactly. And the crazy part is so much. I got so much information, right? Proven towards, because science don't do shit but prove what a WASP say.
That's right.
That's it.
They're just using different words. They're just using different words for vortex, like magnetic field and
gluons and pluons. You dig what I'm talking about?
Different ways of saying vortex.
Mm-hmm. And then every one of them spinning. The atom is spinning.
Yeah. The electrons, Joe. The electrons. You know, that's probably the most important part of the cell, because the shifting of electrons, which is ionization, determines the alkalinity or acidity of a cell.
Facts.
So it's like shit. If you get a cell that obtains more electrons, that cell becomes more alkaline, and the cell that is reduced in the electrons becomes more acidic. It'll draw down to a hydrogen. If it's completely, and that's completely acidic. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, even with that, like on a cellular level, there's motion. The ionization is dealing with motion.
Mm-hmm.
Shifting of electrons. That's what that
shifting
shit is.
That's what I was gonna say. It's the shifting of electrons. And then even photons are known to have a negative charge. What positively charges a photon? So light can be created. And then once they understand that light don't even travel, it's produced where it's at. That's gonna really fry their ass. Cause then we got to bring out the fact that the sun doesn't produce light for our planet.
They're gonna be like, what the fuck these niggas talking about?
Yeah, nigga, light ain't produced.
That's where they gotta come. That's where we gotta come back to that vortex, because the vortex,
I'm gonna keep it simple for simple niggas. I'm gonna keep it simple as shit for simple ass niggas. If the sun is like a goddamn light bulb giving off light to the earth way over here, right? Why is space dark? Everything between the face of the planet, right, or our atmosphere, and the atmosphere of the sun is dark, pitch black. How are you giving me light 100 million miles away when everything in between that 100 million miles is dark as fuck, so much so that it absorbs light? I'm gonna keep it simple for simple niggas.
Yeah, that cosmology and prophecy. That shit deep, yo.
I'm telling you. I'm gonna keep it simple. How can the moon pull on water?
Right.
Y'all say the tides is ran by the moon, right? That's what they teach us. Well, then I should be able to take a piece of earth, a rock, right? Put some water in it or a cup. I ought to be able to spin that rock around that cup and move the water. I ought to see it move. That would be a correct objective test of that earthly material of any type. And you can make it, you can even make it magnetic. Get a magnet and put it in a magnet cup. I bet it spin the cup. I bet it spin the cup. The water don't move.
Right.
But remember, the moon is a rock. And then for everybody who think it's a hologram, show us how a hologram moves water.
Yeah, niggas come up with all type of clowny shit. Like a hologram, like, nigga, stop it.
Come on, man.
The fucking moon is a ore, a mineral, a big giant ass mineral core just sitting there. And then the light of the moon, the moonlight is a white light. It's not a goddamn sunlight. It's showing you that the moonlight generates its own light.
It's a lesser light.
Because they'll say, oh, the sun shine off. No, nigga, when you look at the sun, that shit is orange.
Yeah.
When you look at the moon, that bitch is white. Ain't no goddamn sun reflecting and creating a white light. Nah, nigga. And that's the crazy shit when I was reading the Wasp. It was like, yo, how they say each corporeal world generates its own light due to the vortex having a positive and negative.
Right, because if the moon was like a mirror, you dig what I'm talking about, refracting light, right? Mm-hmm. Or reflecting light down back to the earth, right? If that's what they saying, that the sun gives light and shines it on the moon, right? And it reflects the light of the moon, of the sun, off the moon down to the earth. Where is the point of refraction on the moon?
Exactly, because it'll be over rarefied.
It would have a bright point in the moon. One part of the moon would be brighter than the other, and then it would fade towards the edges.
Right. It'll be like damn, they're creating another sun.
Basically, you'd be reflecting the same light.
Exactly. Case in point, that shit'll be baking like a motherfucker up there.
Yo, it'll be hot.
Niggas like, yo, look at the moon. That shit has got fucking flares coming off that bitch.
No, I'm straight. You dig what I'm talking about? I'm glad Jaja know what he doing.
Hey, lucky ain't that biblical God up there doing that shit.
Yo, I'm straight on him, cuz we'd have been dead.
Hey, we ain't even supposed to be here yet.
Oh yeah, wait a minute.
We in the womb. We in the womb pre-birth.
What year is it? Is 57, 84?
84.
So we supposed to have another 216 years before we even created. See,
they said 2240 is the 6,000th year. The year 2240.
So that's what? That's 216 years.
That's when God is supposed to make man.
For the first time.
Yeah. So right now we either in the womb right now.
Wait a minute. 2240. Wait a minute. Wait. Now we know that this story is BS, right?
But the numbers, we're dealing with numbers, of course.
Yeah, we're dealing with numbers. You know, that's a 400. That's a 400th year time. It's a time. Another 200. You dig what I'm saying? That would be a time, and putting it on the timetables of a prophecy. You 200 years after the first Dan, the first semi-Dan, the first 200 years. So you 400 years.
Right, and that's supposed to be when man was created.
Owaspy give a date around that time for the birth of the Omega men.
Yeah, the goddamn, what's that? We the guns. What's the man that's supposed to come after us?
The Omega man.
Like the Super Sapien and shit?
Yeah, like them niggas. The ones that really got spirituality and physicality mastered. So basically, we're gonna be birthing Aisus.
Yeah,
exactly. You're gonna be birthing Aisus who can reproduce.
Facts.
Because the Aisus, like Jesus and them,
be doing
they couldn't birth babies.
Miracles and shit too.
That's what I'm saying. Because people think flying is a myth. Once you understand, flying is a thing of the spirit.
Yep.
Dying flew. That's only because they knew that it was angels carrying them. They wasn't like really flying, but they really flew physically through the air. But angels are carrying them. It's the spirit. It's never the man.
Right. And then Jaja said you're going to learn to do these things without the assistance of angels.
Facts.
I see my homeboy levitate, man. I was like, damn, this nigga actually came off the ground. How the fuck?
I seen listen, I was down there in the Blue Hills. I was down there in Blue Hills in Jamaica. I seen a nigga in all white. See, like he had a cane. You know, they be doing the whole little chalice house. They put the whole tree in the house and they burn up his chalice. Them boys was doing that little thing. Bro, first of all, he was in all white. He sat on that red goddamn dirt and didn't get no clay on him.
Right.
How he did that, I'll never know. But see, like he was holding on now, and I didn't seen people do the little trick with the.
I was just about to say that shit too. I seen that trick when niggas be doing that shit though.
Yeah, with the little cane and shit.
Right.
No, but bro, he threw his hands like the little pyramid sign and shit. Got the and bro, the nigga literally lived about 3 feet off the ground with his legs crossed. He went on it without the stick.
I know you were like, what?
I'm like, bro, I damn near lost it. I'm like, what? Bro, it's unbelievable to see. You dig what I'm talking about? This man lifted up off the ground, bro, and set himself back down. This is crazy.
Yeah, I see my man do that shit, man. This nigga levitated 3 times before my face. I was at a 5% rally. You know what I mean? I told the story numerous times, but the nigga.
But listen, though, this the question I want to ask. When he did it, right? When the dude you seen who did it, did he make a noise? Was he humming or did he hum?
That shit was solid as all ether, nigga. That nigga did this, man. The nigga came up. He was sitting down on the stoop. He stood up. He came to me, and the crazy thing, he came to me right because I was telling the nigga I was talking to. I was talking about how Yahshua was walking on water. That was the last thing I said before the nigga walked up, and he asked me, "What you say?" I said, "Yeah, the Messiah walking on water." And, he came in the conversation, right? And the nigga said, "I can levitate." And me and the other dude who was talking looked at each other like, that was kind of strange. As soon as he said that, this nigga turned away from us. Like he turned his back towards me, and he lifted up his hand like this, here king. And then he went like this. He pushed down. And the nigga came off the ground. That shit looked magnetic, like a magnet, like his feet came off like this and came back. And I was like, what the fuck? I was like, nah, bro. I was like, nah. And then I said, yo, do that shit again. And then I got down like this, right at his feet. Where like, nigga, you can't deceive me at this point. I'm looking at your feet. And then this time, the nigga went like this. He went like this and put his head up like this. And he came up off the ground, son. He did that. He did it that time. And then I asked him to do it again. And he did his hands like this. Jaja, you done know. And he lifted up his head. And this time he was leading with his head going this way. He had like a slight tilt when he came up off the ground. And his head started shaking.
Damn.
Before he came back down. So whatever he was doing, it was a strain on the mind. I know that. It's like what I didn't catch, my man caught. Because what I caught was the straining of the mind. What my man caught was the nigga taking a deep breath before he got off the ground. So the nigga was like, and then at that moment when you can't take no air in, it was pressure. Yeah. It was just pressure right there. Because that's when he got off the ground.
Dang.
Like, yo, it's a combination of breath and like pressure. That's the best way I can put it.
You know what that remind me of though? When they say be careful who you speak to because you never know when you really entertaining angels.
Nah, check this nigga. The crazy thing is he was looking pretty rough. You know what I mean? Like he was like looking homeless, but I knew the nigga. I just didn't recognize him at the time because after he did that, I'm like, man, I remember you, my nigga. I said, yo, you used to come because I used to run we used to do Wednesday night at the Peacock. It's a club down here, a reggae club. And the owner let us get one night. So he and his brother, he got a twin brother. His brother sing reggae. So his brother used to come sing. But he used to come up there too. And I used to be the nigga collecting the money at the door. So when he come up, he was known for dancing like Michael Jackson. So he'll come up and just start dancing like Michael Jackson. So every time he'll come, I say, yo, dance like Michael Jackson and I'll let you in for free. That nigga just start dancing away and he'll come in. But he recognized me, but I didn't recognize him at the time until after the fact. And I was like, oh, didn't you used to come to the club? He was like, yeah. I'm like, yo, you remember? Like, yeah, I used to be at the door. So now I know this nigga. And guess where he from, my nigga? The nigga from Belize. Him and his brother from Belize. I seen his brother the other day. You know what I mean? I'm like, yo, where your brother at, nigga? I know, fuck you, nigga. Where your brother at? I need to talk to that nigga, right? Dead ass, my nigga. I need to holler at your brother, bro. I need to talk to that nigga.
Yo, where you say he was at, bro?
I think he said he was I think he said he had got locked up or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Not for no crazy shit, because he wasn't no wild nigga, but it may have been like some probation or something, not, you know what I mean, shit like that or whatever.
Yeah.
Some more court shit. But I said, if I ever see that nigga again, I'm gonna kidnap that nigga, say, bruh, I need to get you, I'm gonna go live and get that nigga doing that shit live. But I got his brother number in my phone somewhere. I gotta find it because he was calling me. But I was like, nigga, I ain't, you know, he sing reggae and all that shit. He a Rasta, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm like, nah, nigga, your brother. Because I remember I asked your brother when I seen him. I asked your brother, I said, yo, you know your brother know how to levitate? And he was like, nah, man, that's just a trick. That's a trick. I was like, nah, nigga, that ain't no fucking trick, nigga. I seen this nigga close range, nigga. And he said that shit as like he was a little jealous of his brother, like, you know, I'm Selassie, Rastafari, I supposed to have them powers type shit. You know, he was like, his brother was a regular nigga, because after he did the fucking levitation, the nigga asked me for a cigarette. I'm like, nigga, I don't smoke cigarettes, but goddamn, nigga, you smoke cigarettes and you levitating? That's I knew that purity shit had nothing to do with it.
Crazy, man.
I asked the nigga, I said, yo, how you learn to levitate? You know what the nigga said?
Huh.
He said, have you ever thought about it? Have you ever thought about doing it? He said, that's where it starts. You got to believe that shit, and you know what I mean? And then I'm like, man, how the fuck you do it, though?
My thing is
the right questions at the time because I was too mesmerized. I couldn't believe what the fuck I was seeing.
And my thing is, what couldn't you do if you was taught that you, if you were never taught that you couldn't?
Yeah, that's the first thing the nigga said. He said, if
you never taught that you couldn't fly, think about it. If everybody from day one always believed that we could fly, and they understood that they understood why it happens, would man fly?
Let me tell you something, yo. I be having dreams, right? Where in my dream, I
fly all the time.
I'm telling people, yo, I can levitate. Watch this, and I just I like get up off the ground and I start floating like belly flopping in the air. Then I come back with my feet and land. It's like I was doing that shit at will. It's like I be having plenty dreams where I'm telling niggas, watch this, and start levitating.
Listen, I've had dreams where I literally fly like it's like gliding, but I'm flying forward. I can really fly. Like I've had a recurring dream where I fly down the street called Boheme. You dig what I'm talking about? Is I round this corner and I come over this big old tree. It's a big it's still there today. A big old evergreen tree, like Christmas tree. It's big as fuck. It's big. And I come over it and then I come down the street and I'm flying below the rest of the trees, but like right over the cars.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hey man, oh man, I be getting it.
and see, that's the association with wings on angels. It's not that wings have angels. It's just that angels, the body of angels is so light, they're so rarefied that it's easy to get off the ground because you ain't got no corporeal weight holding you down. So levitating in the spirit world is a common thing.
Right.
That ain't nothing. That ain't nothing fancy. We see a nigga levitate. We like, oh, this nigga doing miracles. But in the spirit world, that's like, oh, you think that's fucking tight?
And think about this. Think about this. When you go into heaven, right, and you become an Essene, right, a brand new spirit, there is a person who for 2 years, you did for roughly, you know what I mean, roughly for most people, 2 years teaches you how to move, how to get around in the spirit world, literally how to walk.
Right.
How to get around. They literally teach you how to do that. So I totally believe what you talking about, bro. I can see it.
Yo, when I seen that nigga levitate, bro, I was trying to do that shit, my nigga. I was really trying to do that shit. I was like, man, if this nigga could do it, I could do this shit. But now I was asking the wrong fucking question. I was so mesmerized. I wasn't asking the right questions. But if I catch that nigga again, I'm telling you, bro, I'm gonna snatch that nigga. I may just go live one time on my phone. I'm gonna fuck him on my phone. I'm gonna go live like, yo, look, I found the nigga who I said I could levitate. Matter of fact, I think I got this nigga brother number on my phone right now. If not, I'll call this nigga right now. If I can find his number, I'm gonna call him as we on live. God damn it, fuck that. I need to find this nigga. We need to learn how to levitate.
Really though? The thing is, I think we know.
Yeah, we really do know.
We really know. And then the crazy part is this ain't nothing new for the faithists.
It ain't.
It ain't nothing new. Shit. As a matter of fact, we rock with the angels so much that the angels tell us shit, nigga. Stop asking us shit. You dig what I'm talking about?
Like,
nigga, stop asking us shit. You know what to do.
Exactly. Yeah,
you dig what I'm talking about? Even OG Joan tell you that. She and you everybody know OG Joan damn near 100. She was rocking with the scenes of Cosmon, the real ones. Cuddle Dune, and you dig what I'm talking about? Them niggas. I'm talking about. She knew Wing and nigga. She knew Wing Anderson personally.
I found this nigga number, bro. Let me call this nigga. I found this nigga number. Ephraim. I hope it's still on though.
Man, Joan knew Wing Anderson, nigga. She knew him. She stayed at his crib.
Who talking about?
John Greer, the OG John from UFK.
You said Wing Anderson?
Yes, nigga, she knew him.
Oh, word? Where's
you know, Joan, I don't want to give Joan age, but Joan in her 90s. Joan in her mid-90s, let's just say.
Damn.
She knew Wing Anderson.
Damn, yo, that's deep. I didn't know that shit.
Yeah, she stayed at the with the Essenes of Cosmon. She lived there with them.
Them niggas probably like, yo, look at these niggas that done took the goddamn Jehovah's word and just bastardized it.
You know what? They don't. That's the cool part.
Shit. No, I'm talking shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but that's the cool part. They don't. And anything I ask for, I get.
Yeah, the word gonna go forth. You know what I mean? The word gonna go forth. You know what I mean? From the high heavens to the pits of hell, nigga. The word gonna go forth. So if we got to be the gatekeepers of the Uzair side, nigga, so be it. Jah got us working on all levels.
So be it. You dig what I'm talking about? Wasn't it? It was a group. It was a group of angels that came back and inspired me and to do nothing but whoop ass.
You dig?
You dig what I'm talking about? Hey, I'm just saying. We is Ahwans.
Yeah, exactly. We battling the light and the dark in us.
That's what I'm saying.
Along with everybody else. Even the goddamn Irons wasn't all righteous. Them niggas set evil in their heart when they had to fight the drunks.
Yeah.
They had evil set in the Irons were evil for, you know what I mean? Them niggas got busy too.
Yeah. And then they had weapons. See, you wouldn't think the iron weapons was a weapon. That's what they don't get. And the irons, if they couldn't stop an animal from messing them over, they killed them. You dig what I'm talking about? They if they couldn't run from it, this is why they stayed in the mounds. Because you had stuff like serpents and tigers and lions and cats, the feline, and dogs and bears who don't give a damn about humans.
Can you dig what I'm talking about? Early days dealing with them animals, like just raw form, no homes. You living in huts and you got these big ass elephants and lions running up on you and shit. Listen.
This is the crazy part. The same way we praise is the same way we defended ourselves. This is what they missing. The drum, the rattle, and what they call the eagle bone whistle, which is the standard keep for praise in a sacred hoop. You dig what I'm talking about? You gotta have a drum, right. You gotta have a rattle, and you gotta have a whistle. What I'm telling niggas is that's how you kill a dinosaur. Remember, dinosaurs had little itty bitty little brains.
Right.
With a stem that was on a stem. You dig what I'm talking about? On this big ass giant body.
Right.
How you get them is, how you can defeat them is you throw their equilibrium off. So this is what the drum do. Boom, 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 boom. The drum disorientated.
Right.
Right? The drum send the ripple, because this is why they hunt, how they hunt, by feel and smell. So if they can't never lock in on you with with that smell, they can't exactly tell where you are. So you boom, 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 and then that's the beat, right? And then you while that's going on, to disorientate them and to get their brain moving, you blow the whistle. That brain get the vibrating, right? And then you take that rattle and that and you all that noise and that sound and the vibration with the rattle, with the using the vortexia, understanding that vortexia is gonna move the sound wave forward, literally snaps the brain stem.
That's crazy, yo.
This is how we did it here. How the else could these people have survived, bro, around goddamn saber-tooth alley cats and goddamn velociraptors and shit?
Right.
Giant ass goddamn bear dog, cave killer, shark bears. these niggas got all type of shit that was out here, nigga. They had a whole lion. You know, they had a whole lion and a tiger that only came from America that don't exist no more. It only died off roughly about 10,000 BC. 10,000, 9,000 BC. Till then, it was on the planet. With you.
Imagine that, yo. And along with the other goddamn animals that died prehistorically. Can you imagine that first 3,000 years, bro?
Nope. Nope. You would listen. You would literally have to be an iron. You would have to be a mystical, magical nigga to survive that shit, bro.
Because even the Lycians was charming. No, was it the Irons or the Lycians that was charming the serpents and the lions for them niggas for the guns to go through there?
It was the Irons who taught the Lycians.
Right.
Yup. So these niggas have been
serpents and the lions to be their friends. I was like, damn.
Yes, snake charming, and you dig what I'm talking about. But think about it, we still gotta remember, we got to take into the environment. It's only roughly about 19 to 21% oxygen on the planet. Imagine a time where there was 50%. And at this time, at the creation of man, there would have been 100% oxygen on the planet. Man, they brought them goddamn Ahwins out. Them niggas was big.
Yeah.
You gotta understand, we rode.
If Zarathustra would have been 15 feet.
Imagine there was regular niggas like that.
That's what I'm saying, exactly.
And that's the difference between that's the difference. That at one time Zarathustra was the tallest man on the earth, 15 to 18 feet. Right? 15 to 18 feet, he the tallest man on the earth. But there was a time before that where he would have been the little man.
Yeah, because you remember the flood, the niggas was living 200 to 300 years.
Them niggas said
the grass, he said the niggas could grasp a horse thigh and crack the shit.
Right. That means you can lift it up over your head and snap it like, flick it. You can flip it.
Yeah, what type of nigga you is doing that? Grabbing a horse thigh and snapping it with one hand.
You're huge. Yeah, you a 24, 25 foot regular nigga. There ain't no way you taking a horse. You ever seen a horse? Listen, a horse is not little.
Yeah, they kick them back legs up. The niggas, when they jump back and kick them back legs out, nigga, they gonna knock you across the goddamn field.
Man, this horse is that weigh a ton. You dig what I'm talking about? 1,000 pounds. This is a massive animal. That his bottom lip, right, where his nozzle is, or at shoulder height, will be where your head is if you roughly a 6 foot tall man.
Right.
His shoulder is where your head is. He still got head over you, neck and head.
Yo, even in the Bible, it described niggas as being grasshoppers compared to I think it was the Canaanites.
Man.
Grasshoppers.
The sons of Anak.
grasshoppers. If you know what I mean, if you look down at a grasshopper compared to yourself, it's like these niggas had. So you basically tell me that you at a nigga ankle standing up. You coming up to a nigga shin. If you talking about you grasshoppers, if you the size of a grasshopper, although it's a metaphor, but still.
Remember in the story, I think it's the Apocalypse of I think it's Moses ends up fighting King Og, and King Og lifts the mountain over his head, and the mountain and Moses stabs him in his Achilles, and the mountain falls on him. That's in the Bible too. That's is that the Apocalypse of Abraham? I know it's in the Bible. I know it's in the Bible. The story of Moses fighting King Og. That's crazy.
Yeah, man. Ain't no telling you with all these motherfucking history, these hidden histories of the earth and shit. You know what I mean?
Man, it's so much we don't know, bro. It's so much we don't know. That's the dope part. That's the dope part. And then listen, this is why I hope WASP be for real. I know it is, but I'm saying, but this is why personally, this is why I hope it's for real. Boy, they say they gonna find pine in the Cosmon era.
Bro, no, that part right there, it's like, there's layers to that question right there, to that. Because in one breath, like Okinawa, Japan shows remnants. I'm like, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
But is a piece of that motherfucker about to float up out this joint, or they're gonna have some technology, some floor scanner technology where it's like, okay, look, the floor of this motherfucker showing something else.
Bro, they gonna see that them bitches is pyramids, buildings, living structures, all that shit is there. Most of it, what they gotta do is look in the dirt.
You said what?
The structure's just been swallowed up. You gotta remember, when that vortexia closed in and it came down that first time and it severed it, from the earth. It whacked it. You dig what I'm talking about? That second time it carved it up. So, and then that's when the earthquakes happened and all that stuff. I'm thinking in my mind, right? Just look at how science works. First of all, if the earthquake was that, it had to be massive.
Yeah, that was beyond massive right there.
It had to be massive. So much of the temples, the houses, all that shit would have instantly liquefied. The ground would have liquefied. It would turn into water. You dig what I'm talking about? It would have just shook itself loose. Everything that was on it would have sunk in it. And by the time he called Jaja third time, it was a whap.
That nigga said it it was loosened from its fastening. I was like, sheesh.
Woo!
He said a mighty continent. He said that shit started rocking like a ship at sea.
But think about this. Think about this. I did the math on that. I just did a roundabout, just quick little number. And I know the number is higher, right? But I just did a quick little number, bro. The math on the force that AIF used, right, to crack a goddamn continent.
First of all, tenfold.
Right, listen. Right now, there's 14.7 pounds per square inch of pressure being applied by our atmosphere on Earth everywhere, all at the same time. We don't even know it. 14.7. So if you take that, right, and we use that as the force of the vortex multiplied doing the math, it equals out to about 37.5 billion pounds per square inch everywhere. Bro, your whole world would have to be made of nuclear bombs and then explode that. You would have to explode that in the Pacific.
Right. Along the edges of the goddamn continent.
Boy, this is why, and this is why when you look at LA, when you look at the coastal part of LA, you pull up Google Google Earth. If you look at LA, boy, it's cracked like an egg. Like an egg. When you look at it, you can see, damn, this something hit it.
Right.
Something hit it. And then once you understand it, that Graham Hancock and them is looking for an event, a comet event, right? They think it's a comet. I understand why they think it, but they looking for an area affected that is 55 million square miles. They ain't put it together that it's the ocean. But what I'm telling y'all is Pine was bigger. The square mile on the Pacific is 63 million. And if I'm not mistaken, total is 72 million square miles, but 63 million of it was pine. You can see it literally carved out the floor. It's called the Nazca Plate. Well, the Nazca Plate sits right off of it. It's the Pacific Plate. That's an outline of Pan, but look at the rest of it that's carved up. That's 63 million miles. The event wasn't a comet, it was vortex on purpose.
Mm-hmm. Them niggas, when they put that goddamn tenfold pressure on that shit, them niggas took that as comets. They like, boy, you know what I mean? And that's coming from the ships.
And look, it's like 250,000 ships.
Right.
Each one taking that ship, that thing, doubling it, tripling it 10,000 fold or some shit like that, or 100,000 fold.
It was 250,000 ships in the columns of 1,000.
Yeah, okay. A thousand columns, 250,000 ships apiece, contracting it 10,000 motherfucking times. You dig what I'm talking about? And smashing and taking that 14.7 and starting off as a base point. It equals to roughly 37.5 billion pounds per square inch every. Listen, bro. Could you imagine just dropping something that's 37.5 billion pounds alone?
It's like
on a house.
Edged that shit around and just started sending wave frequencies at that bitch. Woo.
Come on, bro. So imagine that's going on over an area 63 million square miles. That's the circumference of Pine. Boy, what? This is why the Marianas Trench is so deep. And that shit, it ain't nothing but the edge of it.
That's crazy, yo. These niggas said they're gonna discover Pan.
Bro,
it ain't say a piece of pan.
No.
Pan.
and people think that Zealandia is Pan. I'm here to tell you that's just the southeast corner. And remember, that's the part that's still raised up. Pan is the floor.
Yeah.
And then to prove whatever they use didn't come from regular on Earth, right? Whatever was contracted up there in the sky by Shimvat and pressed down left a material that is only on the floor of the Pacific. It is a white silt. It's a white silt layer that only goes about maybe a couple feet deep, right? It's not everywhere, but it's only in the middle of the Pacific. This white sand, and it's a few feet deep, but that's it. It's nowhere else in the world.
That's crazy, King.
My thing is, if the polar regions is the coldest waters in the world, right? My thing is a place that's fully, tropical most of the time, like the Pacific, should be a warmer water than its other great oceans. It should be warm. It should be warmer.
It is, because I remember we did that. We touched on it a while.
No, it's not warmer. It's not.
Is cooler. One of them is this. No. It's colder. That's what it is.
It's colder.
Yeah. It's colder. That's what. Yeah, you threw me off of that.
Yeah.
Because I remember when they cracked the vortex and they brought that cold from the higher heavens down.
Yep.
Man, they probably froze goddamn pan before they.
What? Listen, 22,553 BC, we are exactly in the Laurentine glacial maximum. We go into the crack start of it. This is why the Laurentine is where it is.
Right.
It's dumped over America. It's dumped over Siberia and all that shit. But that shit was not where it is today. Just 24,000 years ago, the North Pole got where it sits today. Remember, this nigga punched the fucking planet with 37.5 billion pounds of pressure per square inch over an area of 63 million square miles. That bitch rocked.
250,000 ships. Can you imagine the more?
How much you want to bet? How much you want to bet, Sheila? How much you want to bet that it's exactly 23.5 degrees off from where it used to be?
Oh, yeah. I wouldn't even doubt that. With a gang of niggas like that floating around shit.
But
just imagine the niggas living that day to bear witness to seeing that.
Listen, the Algonquin tell everything Owaspy say, word for word.
Yeah.
The oldest niggas who over here in America say word for word what's in Owaspy.
The Ions who survived that whole event right there, from being on a continent, that shit cracking up, sinking, and then you on a boat floating, and then you go to another whole landmass. Nigga, the survival of that right there, the fear factor in that changed your DNA. This
is why it's remembered all the way around the world, man. It was an event. It was an event that affected the DNA of the people, period. It was so cataclysmic. And then we got to think, it's only roughly, 8 billion people on Earth today?
Right.
24.4, 3 times more people than was on the Earth today got killed in that time.
And then now look at the shit we got going on in America with the crime and shit. You know what I mean? We wildin'.
Right.
Jaja to come to the point where he said, I'm going to sink the continent because of the nature of men becoming so barbaric, so cannibalistic. So that's like
so incestual.
Yeah. So basically, if you were iron leaving the crib, if you were, you know what I mean, you a regular nigga, you got to watch out for monsters niggas who trying to eat you. Straight
not only you got to watch out for the animals, you got to watch out for the man. That's crazy. The man would eat you.
That's what I'm saying about niggas who's cannibals.
Yeah, bro.
It was moving on all fours like animals.
Remember they say they said in every story that man began to act like a beast. You dig what I'm talking about? Not even thinking about what he slept with or anything. He literally, and that everything was against man. Everything was against itself. You know what I mean? Everything was hard. The environment was hard. The people were hard. Everything was, was a struggle. And I couldn't imagine what it was like. And then hold on, at the time you got Ions. First of all, who I'm starting to understand came in every size. They weren't just the little nigga. It was some tall niggas who got it.
Right.
You dig what I'm talking about? So
the concept of a drunk, yeah.
Right, same thing with the concept of drug. You know, but for the most part, these was little niggas. You dig what I'm talking about? You got little niggas, regular size niggas, a big nigga, and a giant nigga, and angels. And then there's a mix of, well, what you call them, a chimera, even on the planet at the time. You dig what I'm talking about? They don't spawn. They just, you know, they die out when they die out. You dig what I'm talking about? But these great monstrosities, these mixes between man and beast was on the earth at the time too. Angels on the earth, giant men on the earth, big niggas on the earth, regular size niggas and little niggas, all on the earth at the same time. And then we smack. It's 23 153 BC. You dig what I'm talking about? It's megafauna out here. It's mastodons and woolly mammoths and saber-toothed cats and ontodonts. Nigga, it's all that shit is on the planet. Yeah, you ever seen them goddamn terror birds? You ever seen them things called terror birds? Look that up real quick, bro. They're called a terror bird. They this big giant bird about 10 feet tall, and it's got this beak, and they fast as hell, and they use their feet, and they run. It kind of look like a big old ostrich, but it's got it got a head like the big of the hood of a Chevy. You dig what I'm talking about? And this thing is crazy.
It's a historic bird, or
it's a megafauna. They call them terror birds, and they was in America.
Hold up, I must be right or wrong.
It's a dinosaur type bird. No, terror, like TERROR.
Oh, you talking about terror and shit? Okay.
Yeah, like I'm scared.
Terror bird.
See this big ass goddamn thing, like. Listen, yes, that's a terror bird, nigga.
That's how they compare it to a man.
Look, them is in America too.
And
they ran in packs. Look, the niggas ran in packs. I'm good, cuz.
You said they ran in packs?
Look up. Yeah, they run in packs.
America, yeah.
Hold on, look up the American lion. Watch this.
You said American lion?
Yes, watch this. This shit is on the earth with man at this time. We here. I'm talking about Homo sapiens thinking nigga. You dig what I'm talking about? Go look up the American lion. Look how big this goddamn thing is. It's bigger than a regular lion. Look. That's on the earth. Go look up giant cave bear. I just want to show you some of the stuff that's on the earth at this time.
Oh, right.
You dig what I'm talking about? You had to be tough. And then look how big everything is. What you think the man was?
Yeah, look at that comparison right there.
Yeah. What them the giant cave bears?
Yeah.
Yeah, look at that. But look how much bigger they is than a regular bear. Look.
Yeah, that's serious right there.
Them niggas ain't no joke. They had a wolf. They had a big giant wolf. Look this shit up, called a dire. DIRE, dire wolf. This is a real wolf. They know this stuff existed, bro. This real.
Look at that shit, yo.
Look how big it is compared to a regular wolf, bro. That thing massive. That's a 250-pound dog. I'm straight.
Well, look at that.
And that ain't no dog. That's not no dog. That's a wolf that will eat your dog. He not trying to fight your dog. He will kill him. Look how big he is. Man lived with this animal.
Imagine that. For thousands of years.
Hey, look up this thing called the I forget the taxonomic name, but it's called a terror pig. Look up the terror pig.
You got pigs goddamn out here wilding.
Watch this, bro. You ain't seen shit.
Yeah.
This is on the earth. Man got to contend with this stuff. Look.
Yeah, ain't no way in hell. Yeah, you gotta be prayed up back in them days, bro. I swear.
Listen, you not only got to be rough, tough. You dig what I'm talking about? You got to be big, and you got to be fast. You got to be as physical and as willing to kill as everything else around you.
Yeah, ain't no goddamn right running this shit, bro. You better have some skill tactics with that spear, nigga.
Listen, think about it. If not for the Ahuans, how would these niggas exist? A pig is not gonna stop digging in the ground. This is what they do.
Yeah, this shit is wild.
So even if you was in the mound, how do you stop it from eventually digging down below it? Somebody got to stop that pig. Hence your black ass. This is why you spiritual, but you will fuck some shit up at the same time. You are a warrior faithless, an Ahuan.
Yeah. These were your first devils you had to fight right here with these goddamn animals and shit.
Man. You see that?
Yeah, that's some heavy shit, King. I ain't gonna hold you, boy.
Yeah, they don't take into the environment what was going on. They just, 23,000 years ago.
Right, exactly. Like, niggas was probably hiding away, trying to get away from these motherfuckers living forward.
What? Nigga, you couldn't even outrun a terror bird. They was faster than cheetahs. You couldn't even outrun a terror bird.
Yeah, that's wild, yo. That's some next level shit right there.
You got a 6'3" pig.
You got a pig taller than you, looking down at you and shit.
Man, that nigga nasty, bro. He vicious. If you ever seen them wild hogs, oh man, they vicious, bro.
Niggas out there eat a motherfuckers whole.
Man, they will eat you, bro. He not just gonna kill you, he gonna eat you. It's crazy. And this is how we know dogs could have never, ever, ever, ever been wolves. Because wolves to this day do not rock with people normally. You think what I'm talking about?
Right.
Normally. And even if you hand raise one from a puppy, you got to be careful because he will bite the shit out you. He always gonna be wild. He always gonna be wild. You dig what I'm talking about? And even though they can mix, them half wolf dogs, they don't go on to produce hybrid half wolf dogs with producing that shit. They don't do it.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean?
Yeah, because I'm like, nigga, you get a poodle out of a wolf, nigga, like really and shit. Like,
no, and then the dog is really the smartest animal. Well, it's the most knowing animal. Right. Think about this. Dog is the only animal that won't naturally fuck you up. Everything else will kill you. Cats, like house domesticated cats, they just tolerate you too.
Right, yeah. You get caught out there with a goddamn lion or a goddamn tiger, nigga. It's over.
You're done. You're done. Leopard, jaguar, mountain lion, you're done. Yeah, he's not gonna hold you up. A snake, he not gonna hold you up. Fishes, they not gonna hold you up.
That moose will fuck your ass up if you get if that nigga run up on you and shit.
Don't nobody else rock with you. They will kill you if in a pinch. The only one that won't is a dog. As a matter of fact, he gonna die for you.
Right, facts. They say man best friend.
Man best friend. You did want to know how? How? Because he the most knowing. What makes him the most knowing? Because he's the most empathetic. He is the only empathetic animal. Everybody else will bite you. You dig what I'm talking about? Everybody else will kill your ass, except a dog. You raise a dog up, he die for you.
Right.
That's that. And then you can, if you show a dog empathy, like get one off the streets or something, boy, he love you more than anybody.
Facts. Going
You
all
dig
out.
what I'm talking about? He like, oh man, no, dog, I'm never letting you get away with it.
Right.
You dig what I'm talking about? So
Rider.
yeah, you're right. After that point, he will die for you. No question. You dig what I'm talking about? So
And then not only that, Jaja say, yo, I got the animal heaven. Niggas may gotta contend with these animals in spirit. You think you got rid of these niggas on the earth plane, next you know your ass getting ran down in the spirit world by a pit and shit.
hey, you remember that movie? What is it called? The Golden Compass?
The Golden Compass.
The Golden Compass, where they had everybody, they was on this world where everybody's spirit was like an animal. It was like a spirit animal, but they called it a demon. But it was their spirit. It was the spirit, but it was represented as an animal.
Oh, that's deep.
Yeah, man, that you made me think of that when you said that. You dig what I'm talking about? Because they animal was right connected with them. You can, as a matter of fact, if you kill the spirit, the person died. So you had to be careful. You dig what I'm talking about? Because somebody, you could be chilling over here. You dig what I'm talking about? And get separated from your spirit.
You said what?
And
oh, you know the movie you talking about?
Nicole Kidman.
She said Nicole Kidman played in that movie.
Yup. And it's a little girl in there, and then it's another movie. It's a part 2 to it, but it's not called. It's something. It's a part 2 to it with the little spirits. They call them demons, but they spirit. You dig what I'm talking about? They spirits, and they connect with the person, and you dig what I'm talking about? It's dope. It's dope. You dig what I'm talking about? And they was finding this stuff that they call dust. You dig what I'm talking about? Spread throughout the universe. Nigga, that shit ain't nothing but vortex. It's gonna fuck you up when you see it, bro. You gonna be like, nigga, that's vortex. And the lady is reading it, and you can see it dumping into the planet and out the planet, and it's crazy, man. I was like, man, these people know something.
Yeah, these Hollywood motherfuckers be doing something and shit. You know what I mean? It's like, actually, what I'm finding out is that with this film shit, it's like shit. These are just regular Joes who just made it. That's like us. You know what I mean? That when they get their first big check, now they can just do shit on another level, and they be regular motherfuckers like us.
So they try to get the best stories, the most interesting stories, and make them in the movies. Nigga, if we don't fuck around and make the story of Gabrielle.
Yo, man, you know what? It's several stories we can, but Blue Among and Jabril, that's like the Godfather of all Godfather stories. We gotta play that.
Yeah. And some listen, when we get that bread, boy, we gonna put Hoab and Fergopity. We gonna make that the Ark of Loot. The Ark of Loot, we gonna make that a movie, bro.
Yeah, that's gonna be killer. That'll be killer. Like you said, the Hoab story will be an emotional story and shit.
Yeah, niggas gonna be crying in there, grown ass men. You gonna be crying in there. Listen, I don't care what you talking about. You ain't that hard. You not hard as Cosmine, not for real. Nigga, you'll be in there broke down. You'll be in there. You'll be in there broke down. I could be God too.
Right.
That's the point of
a story of a lack of confidence.
Yeah, he did. And then the crazy part is he never even believed and got to be God.
Exactly.
You dig what I'm talking about? He got to be the real deal. He didn't believe at first, but then once you start seeing it, that light click on, you be like, dang.
And not only that, he was the second installment from the Osirian cycle.
Sure was.
The Osirian cycle was putting away spirituality and dealing with tangibility. So even in the spirit world, when Fragapati went to the realm, he said what they was doing. It was bending light, making you know what I mean. So they was dealing with the material, even in the spiritual world.
In the spiritual
material,
realm,
and you could lack the spirit in that realm dealing with the material.
Fact, that was crazy, man. So that's crazy. And then listen, the point is, the whole point that you learn from Fragapati is boy, you so far ahead of where he is now. If you just believe that there is a creator for all this creation, you so far ahead of him, you guaranteed godhood.
Right.
That's the glory of Hoab and Forgoppity. Bro, you can make it. If this goofy ass nigga can get it, and the only reason he got it was because Hoab always was 100. He never tried to say something wasn't when it was.
Right.
He always stood on his square. He was always on his quote unquote dean.
Right.
He was always 100, a real ninja. And for the fact that he never changed, Jaja gave him a chance. The boy turned into God. What are you talking about? A fucking idiot became God.
Exactly. A nigga who was trapped in a small corner of the lower heavens.
What? He became the real deal, nigga. I can make it then. If he can make it, I can make it. Nigga, you gonna cry at the end of Hoab. Joe Hoab.
Oh, Hoab ass niggas.
Oh, Hoab ass nigga. You dig what I'm talking about? But listen, you're not that tough. You're not that tough, boy. When you understand that you got, oh my God.
And see, check this, King. If we tap into this film industry, get that budget, and start doing these films, because look, we just not affecting our people. Can you imagine if we did the story of Zarathustra and actually hired Persian for the actors?
Nigga, no, shoot the real story of Yeshua. Shoot the real story of Yeshua. Right. Oh my God.
Big facts.
Oh my God, you want me to show you the real Jesus, nigga? Oh my God.
Yeah, show yes. I'll play that role.
Oh my God,
what's going on, brother?
If you think you love Jesus and Yeshua now, when you hear the real story,
exactly.
Oh my God, man, this is my nigga.
And then we could paint it with the how they was Nazarenes. They didn't cut their hair, so we could show these niggas like some real Rastafari looking niggas with the full bearded locks, bearded hair. Niggas was vegetarian. Put them niggas in some white robes, nigga. You know how glorious them niggas would be looking. It's a lot of. Let me put it like some of the rosters, man. Them niggas be in them robes, man. Them niggas be looking like angels, my nigga.
For real, for real. You dig what I'm talking about? Really show a picture of Abraham? Oh. Listen, people don't understand that it did something to our people when we seen Yul Brynner. You dig what I'm talking about as Pharaoh? It did something. You dig what I'm talking about? When you wasn't there, when they showed them heavens and you wasn't never there. You dig what I'm talking about? It did something to us. But boy, imagine what it'd do when we show what it really looked like, what was really going on, how you got this nigga Saul Paul, what he was really doing.
Right.
Show him that's Josephus them boy. That he gave you that Bible to calm you niggas down because you had been wilding.
Right.
You have been wilding for over 100 years. You wasn't no docile punk. Eleazar wasn't no punk. Eleazar said, no, I'm not eating that pork. I'm getting move out the way. I'll get on the rack myself, pimp. No, I'm too old to turn back now. I set a bad precedent for these youngsters coming behind me. Because guess what? They riding. They don't never tell you the story that we went down over there and burned Rome down. They'll never tell that story.
But we will. We will.
They'll tell you that we ain't never need nobody. When we started the war machine, we printed our own money. I'm not saying that they was right. They was wrong. And it was some of us that when they was like, when Rome started, when Octavian and all them start coming in, it was like, well, who coming? Titus. Shit, I'm out. I'll holler at you niggas. Who coming? Vespasian. I'm straight on cuz. Y'all niggas stay here if you want to. I'm out. But it was some niggas who was there like, nah, Caesar not gonna put no naked statue in the temple.
Yeah.
I'm gonna die first.
Right. It was hostile in them times, boy. It was real hostile in them days, yo.
Listen, they was wrong. They probably should have lived. But I swear for cheese and crackers, I'd have been right there with them.
Bro.
Right there with them, dying, fighting, wrong as fuck. But in my mind, I'm not about to let this happen.
Mm-hmm.
This is why Megiddo, this is why Jerusalem, this was payback because you went through there and burnt the records. You burned Rome down to the ground. They talking about the Punic Wars. You talking about Hannibal. So you better talk about them Maccabees.
Mm-hmm.
That's who you better talk about. Them boys was fighters.
Yeah, niggas had the Sicaries, boy. Them niggas ain't playing no games.
No games.
Those were the warrior fakers, boy. Them niggas was zealots. Even Owaspi said Yeshua was a severe preacher, teacher. He didn't play no games.
And listen, this is why I know if ain't the one story that Owaspi don't give, right? That I know is true out that Bible. I know it's true. I know it is, bro. Is when Yeshua seen the money changers in the temple and he got the whooping on them. That story is real. I don't believe a lot of everything out the Bible. Just you did what I'm talking about. But
you
some
gotta remember the story's amalgamated, so some parts of it is the actual Yeshua, exactly. While other parts we know that it came from somewhere else.
Yeah, and listen, I'm telling you, I whether you believe it or not, and Iesu would have moved with man, he would have had math. He would have been no joke. He would have already knew. So if you would have got into, and then mind you, it's 4 or 5 money changers in there. The money changers at least got 3, 4, 5 goons with them. Yeah, how you whoop all them niggas by yourself?
You wildin', yo.
You was wildin', son. Listen, you was wildin'.
And not only that, keep in mind, this is the same temple that was inspired by Cyrus to build.
Come on.
So it's not even to say authentic or original coming from creator. Your creator at this time is goddamn Louis, inspires goddamn Cyrus, and to give you permission, slave master tactic, for you to rebuild the second temple.
Damn.
And then when you go to rebuild the second temple, y'all niggas is beefing with the northern tribes who've been there already before y'all, labeled as Samaritans now. And then Ezra comes back with, now, if you notice, the Pharisees, Sadducees, those names come on the scene post captivity. You don't hear those pre-captivity. You don't hear those names ringing out prior to the captivity.
Fact.
You don't hear that shit during the days of Jeremiah. You don't hear it during the days of Isaiah. You don't hear those names. Those names spring out of the Great Assembly, 450 BC. The Great Assembly is when they came together, basically when the Tanakh was compiled. And then from there, the splinter cells started from the Great Assembly. That's when you get your Pharisees, your Sadducees. Matter of fact, forget his name. I forget his name. But he was the spawner of the Sadducee movement, but he got it from Simon the Just.
Oh,
and the Gonus. And the Gonus. Yeah. And the Gonus is the nigga who fathered the Sadducees movement, and the Pharisees pay homage to him for his doctrine. So he's the founder, basically, of the Sadducees, the Pharisees, and he was a student of Simon the Just, and Simon the Just was part of the men of the Great Assembly, who also had to do with legislating laws for the new second temple. So all that shit is during all this shit we follow as the Israelite doctrine is from the time of Ezra. 450 BC. So the Sadducees, the Pharisees, the scribes, all that. So when Yahshua came, so by the time the first century come, Yahshua on the scene, you talking over 400 years in since the captivity, 300 years in since the second temple has been rebuilt, and they doing the same shit. They offering, basically they hustling out the temple now. It's just like today, they hustling in the church.
Fact. And this is where your whole Levitical priesthood, your Sepharim and all these dudes come from with all these laws. And this out of this understanding, and with Ezra, remember the bankers, many of the bankers and the money loaners never left Babylon. They didn't go back. They didn't go back to Jerusalem. They became the money lenders in Babylon. You dig what I'm talking about? And this is why out of the church you get your first banks. The crown didn't print money. The church did.
And then Rome, you know what I mean? Rome, like them niggas is the goddamn the system, the money system.
Yeah. Don't nothing move without Rome.
Yeah.
Especially you ain't even got the Macedon good yet. You ain't got the Philip in them yet.
Hey, so basically the pimping shift from Cyrus to the Romans and shit.
it go from the Persians straight to the Medes, to the Babylonians. You dig what I'm talking about? To the Macedonians.
And then the Edomites, the
Etruscans,
the Herodian dynasty.
Edomites.
The Herodian dynasty.
Yup.
Antipater and them boys, Irenaeus prior to him. So it's like, yeah.
And then the one common connection you gonna find is the inspiration of this deity who dies on a cross, or is with the so-called cross as its sign. You dig what I'm talking about? From Alexander all the way down to Constantine, and down there from Ptolemy on up, you see to Alexander himself, you see the cross represented.
You talking about the Chi in a row? Talking about that cross?
Yep. The Chi in a row. You see it represented all the way from Egypt all the way to Constantine.
Yeah, but Ptolemy's had it, because you see it on the Ptolemy the third, he got it on the coin. And then you see the same shit coming, and then you see it with Paul. Remember, we have Paul and Peter, and I showed that they got the Chi in a row on the Paul. That's the Christ now. Keep in mind, that's the Christ. The Christ is the Chi in a row, and then in the Macedonian language, Christ
is Christ.
So the Macedonians, which are the Ptolemies, would have been aware of that concept, Christ being the cross.
Fact. But like Owaspi say, did none of them know at the time it represented a man?
Yeah. So that like when we dealing with the Christ, you just can't. It's just not no. It's an evolution over time dealing with the Christ, because you got to go from the cross to the man.
Yep.
Peace, Yakub. What's good, brother? Talk to me.
Peace.
Okay. Just vibing. Got you. Yes,
sir. Just vibing.
You know what I mean? Spiritual vibes, eh? Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, you know what I mean? So Yeshua is the highlight because of, you know, it's interesting because that whole history of Yeshua, they messed that up for the bros, because first you had the beef with the Romans and the Jews, so they would have tried to eradicate most of their history. Then, you know what I mean, you got Constantine selecting and mixing shit up, amalgamating the text, so now you don't know which is Yeshua or which came from this person or that person. And then from there on, coming on down to the translation of the Bible from Greek, Latin, and English, it's like, shit. Now we have a straight-haired white man hanging on a cross.
And dig this. We still got to go back and understand why Yeshua. Why? Why him? He is the reaction to the creation of 49 false saviors from the time of 450 BC and the creating of the Tanakh to 150 BC, where these 49 false saviors were created. You dig what I'm talking about? They even wrote a book called The 16 Saviors Before Christ. Those are just 16 of them. Right. Owaspi gives you all 49. that predate Yeshua and his coming. Why did he come? You dig what I'm talking about? He is a response to the creation of 49 false saviors who were killed in ignominious ways. You dig what I'm talking about?
Yeah, that was cold blooded. Yeah, that was when niggas is dying, getting mutilated just to show, to get sympathy of their belief and shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and then the crazy part is the same angel who was, oh, you this, you that, you know what I mean? You the true voice of the prophet and all that, is the same angel that turned around and set him up and kill him.
That was Capelic-these Eluxa and Enuxa
and Louis.
Yeah.
And Louis.
So them niggas
you dig what I'm talking about? So this is where you get your Quetzalcoatl from. Quetzalcoatl was a false prophet sent to the Americas from Luamang. This is why he carrying the cross. He carrying the Kayana row on his back. Go look at Quetzalcoatl. This is why he's in the same form of, but he is before Yeshua. Yeshua was born in 146 BC. 146 BC. He died 36, not 33, 36 years later in 110 during the Hasmonean dynasty, where his brother who takes the throne and dies during the beginning of the Hasmonean Civil War in 93. You dig what I'm talking about? This is where you get your time of James the Just and all that, and Yeshua. He is put here because the doctrine had started getting switched up. That whole Father, Son, Holy Ghost shit. You dig what I'm talking about? This is how you prove if you got a false God. If he 3 in 1, and he telling you either Father, either Son, either Holy Ghost, right? And he got a representation and an image, and it is praised, he is false. As a matter of fact, if your God, for any reason, ever asks you for praise, he is false. Mm-hmm. So if your God ever say you should pray this many times, or you should the fear of him, you should pray to your God and all that shit, if he tell you that, he false. Because true God don't need your praise. What would he do with it?
Right. That's like the school praising the school teacher, and the teacher like, yo, that ain't gonna help you elevate.
Yo, you better do this work. I don't care how many apples you bring me. You not about to pass this class, till you do this work. You dig what I'm talking about?
This shit a good build, but I'm about to get ready to get up off this joint, man. I got a couple more things to do. A couple people hitting me up, man. It's always a goddamn pleasure building with the God Cosmo and Cal. You know what I mean? All
the time, my baby, man. Another great lesson, man. You dig what I'm talking about? Another great lesson. Again, we've been all around the world. You dig what I'm talking about? Highlight. You ain't heard nothing evil yet.
Right.
You dig what I'm talking about? Dropping light bombs all around the world.
Yeah, man. Tell the people where they can find you, King.
Oh man, y'all go to Cosmon Cal TV, man. Sub, like, share, man. Y'all rock with the boy, man. Go ahead and get some of that etheric light I'm dropping over there. You dig what I'm talking about? Check in with Jehovah Chronicles. Share to your friends and family, man. I'm also Cosmon Cal on Facebook. You dig what I'm talking about? Just tap in, man. Something different all the time, man. Breathe in. To my nigga C-Li, breathe in. Let that light in. You dig what I'm talking about? I'm Cosmon and I'm out, man. Hey, love, light to you, bro.
All right, yeah, we're going to build in the chat. You already know, King.
Already know.
All right, family. You know what I mean? Shout out to the God, Cosmon Cal. Shout out to the Creator Gang. Peace to the gods and goddesses. And we out of here, family. Till next time. Peace and blessings.